Hi, so this is part of my, I don't know how many videos I'm making, I think it's 4, of celebrating a year of dedicated healing to myself. So I just want to talk about what the last 6 months have looked like in terms of my healing practice. So I've still been doing all of the things that I did at the 6 month mark. I've carried on with and extended my herbal treatment. I'm going to do that in my next video to say what I've been doing. But the main thing I've concentrated on for the past 6 months, it was never the plan, it's just ended up that way, it was my psycho-emotional state. And yeah, like I've said at the beginning, this time last year, I made some videos, I was like, it's not in my head. Some of it is. It's not all in my head. So on the, I can't remember what, sorry, brain fog, still getting brain fog. At some point, I need to say in my video what has happened with herbs, to prove that it's not just in my head, it's very much in my body too. But there is a huge psychological element of this. So I've been doing a lot of research into psychoimmunology, and there's lots of research to show that your emotions are held in the body. So what the emotions that you're carrying in your body can alter peptides in your body, and it can essentially affect the way your immune system reacts to things, and how strong your immune system is. And this was a real something that I really learned a lot about. So through my coaching training, we've been learning how to do emotional release work. And during my intense coaching intensive in February, I did lots of letting go of emotional baggage. Essentially, I screamed into a pillow for an hour and a half. I was carrying a lot of anger, and I was also carrying a lot of grief. So I've been doing a lot of work. Essentially, what I've been doing is just rubbing myself here, just going, I love you, and just letting myself just cry. I have done so much crying in the last 6 months in a healthy release type way, it's not even true. I think I probably had a bit of a cry at least every day for the past 6 months. Sometimes it's been quite big, like screaming, fucking this, and I've been punching pillows, and I've been bawling my eyes out. I have like proper like really cried, and I've had a really good supportive network of people that have supported that, so that's been quite important. So what I'm trying to say is it's not just psycho-emotional, but if you are on a journey where you are in chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and you have a chronic health condition, there is, no matter who you are, and I'll explain a bit more why, there is a large amount of suppressed emotion there too. Because let's face it, when you're feeling sick, you have to fight for your own health. You have to fight to be heard. And when people put you down, and when you lose part of your life to an illness, there's grief there. You know, you've lost your life. There's got to be grief there. There can't not be. When people aren't taking you seriously, there's anger. When you don't know if you're ever going to be well again, there's fear. They're all there, no matter what your condition is, they are there. And when we deny them, and when we don't express them, they stay in your body. So having anger, fear, grief, shame, having those living in your body, changing your peptides, and therefore changing your immune response, is going to be much, much harder for you to recover. So by accepting that there is a strong emotional component to your illness is the first step to getting better. And this is from someone who did a video right at the beginning of this whole thing going, it's not in my head. Oh my god. Like, strong emotions there, Lauren, let them out. So it's not in your head, it's in your body. It's emotions in your body that need to be expressed, and there is no shame in that. So the things that have helped me, getting a coach, getting some counselling, having emotional release type meditations. So Marissa Peer, does some meditations. So Marissa Peer does some really good ones. Hypnotherapy is great. Talking circles. So I go to a red tent talking circle, and everyone gets 10 minutes holding the talking stick, and they're just witnessed by other women. And you hold your talking stick, and during that time, no one is allowed to talk. That space is yours. And the amount of times I've just sat there and cried, but to be held by a group of women who witnessed that sadness was enough. And we didn't talk about it afterwards. We didn't have to go into any more depth into it. I was just allowed to cry. They were like, yeah, nice one. And we just carried on. Because that's the thing, like, to be held in space, but not. I feel like in the past when I've cried to try and get it out, people have tried to fix me or hug me to make it all go away and make it better. But when you've got so much emotion inside you, contributing to you being sick, you just need someone who's strong enough to hold that space and let you cry and not do anything about it. And for you to be okay with that, it's just like, I'm just crying. Just let me get it out. It's just an emotion. It's like when you're physically sick, your body vomits to get rid of all the crap that's inside of you. Crying is just like an emotional vomit. Like, if you let it out, better out than in, you get better. I am ranting now, but essentially that's the biggest thing that I've been doing the past 6 months is lots of just letting go emotionally and not being shamed about it. And also the other thing I've been doing is realigning with my values. So as part of my coaching, I've been figuring out what's important to me and then only spending energy on what is truly important to me. And that has meant letting go of relationships that aren't really serving that purpose. It's been about stating with people who are close to me what I can and can't do and not feeling any shame around that. It's been about doing things that are meaningful to me and not doing things that aren't meaningful to me. And it's still a work in practice because I still sometimes drag myself into stuff from when I'm doing it. I'm like, why am I doing this? I've only got this amount of energy. Why am I wasting it on this? And then it becomes not about having more energy, but just about using the energy that you have in a way that brings you the most joy and the most fulfillment. And it's this that I want to now concentrate my career on because I've realized how important it is and it's changed my life. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing for the past 6 months. The other thing I've been doing is I have been doing herbs. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. So I've been taking herbal regimes for Borrelia, and I've been hospitalized because of it. So when you're doing herbal treatments for Borrelia and co-infections, it's really, really important to take it very slowly. So I did the Buna protocol and I stepped it up pretty much every 3 days. I went on to the next drop. I wasn't tuned into my body. I was like, right, it's been 3 days since I added a drop, so I'm going to add a drop now. I was still herxing from the previous drops and I ended up taking too much too soon. I had a massive reaction and I ended up in hospital with an infection. And what they couldn't identify what was wrong with me. They were like, this is nothing like we've ever seen before. Because I tested positive for mycoplasma, and mycoplasma like to live in like your juicy bits, like around your sinuses and in your lungs and in your sort of like roomy bladder area. What my functional medicine practitioner thought it was a big flare up of that, and I'd just done too much too soon. So I went back on the Buna protocol, much more toned down. Again, I went too fast and I had another flare up, got very sick, got feverish, had these huge night sweats. I was soaking for 2 nights in a row. Had to go back on antibiotics because my immune system had become overwhelmed. And my functional medicine practitioner was like, we can't keep doing this. You can't keep going on antibiotics because your immune system is going to be very sad because of it. You need to not be on antibiotics. So we then backed off from that. So now, and this is going to be carrying on for at least the next 6 months, which is why my healing journey isn't over. In fact, this is a different video, so I'm going to make another video about what I'm doing now. So what is the plan for the next 6 months? So the past 6 months I've been all about carrying on with the herbs and just learning how to manage them, learning when my body is hurting and how much detox and what detox I need to do. And it's also, I'm on lots of charcoal as well. Like last thing at night and first thing in the morning, charcoal. Yeah, and it's just been a lot of values work about energy management, psycho-emotional healing. I've had reiki, I've had gong baths, I've had sound bowls. Oh my god, sound healing. I visit the sauna once a month to do lots of like sweat cold. Yeah, just lots of emotional and physical detoxing over the last 6 months, combined with herbs and lots of healthy food. So yeah, alright, in the next video it's like, what am I doing for the next 6 months? Ooh.